Okay, let's look at the religion
My favorite
video.
era of history is the Middle Ages, and one of the interesting
No, it
things
isn't.
about that...
Shut up.
Anyone in the sciences today of any political stripe agrees that biological race is real.
Why is half of Ukraine Nordic? Mongoloid. Didn't this guy say he doesn't read any anthropology books past 19th century? I believe him. Aboriginals. Wait, so this is like... So wait. Why is America filled with white people, but Australia is not filled with Australians, but with Aboriginals? Like it just fucking shows how stupid the concept is.
Questioning the regime, the Darwinists take them in. The third reason is that with the new discoveries in genetic engineering, which have the potential to create godlike abilities, including changing the fabric of life itself, is that the temptation to use said technology will probably become overwhelming, and the only way that you could explain it in a comprehensible worldview is through the lens of Darwinism and improving genetics. Darwinism is based upon the idea that the world is a violent and brutal place of continuous warfare and competition.
I think you shouldn't apply that to social life, because, you know... Wait, is it talking about eugenics? This guy probably doesn't believe in sociology and instead believes in biologisms and pseudoscience.
Our blood determines who we are, and that human nature is ingrained, not malleable. I think the most advanced Darwinistic thinker today is Kurt Doolittle, who has pushed the
Your friend?
philosophic principles of Darwinism to their logical conclusion. Bronze Age Pervert is another advanced Darwinist thinker who has taken more so from the Nietzschean classical bent on this topic. The new right is currently stuck between Darwinists and Christians fighting each other, often covertly under the surface, and it's completely unclear which of them the movement will eventually go after. Something a lot of you might not realize is that the red pill is the biggest gateway to Darwinism. Entire generations...
Okay. How envy down with this sort of thing, careful now. Hitler, holy hell. Yeah, Hitler did believe in social Darwinism, didn't he? Hold on. I guess I'm a liberal for using Wikipedia, but whatever. Social Darwinism is a study and implementation of various pseudoscientific theories and societal practices that purport and apply biological concepts of natural selection and survival of the fittest to sociology, economics and politics. Yeah, that's exactly what I said earlier. You should not try to apply Darwinism to, you know, sociology. People don't kill each other in the street and then eat each other. It's an inherently Nazi-like perspective. I wonder what he says here.
Sense from their worldview, which glorifies vitality. That being said, this was retarded since they ended up declaring war on a coalition of the most powerful countries in the world.
Ah, yeah. If I were Adolf Hitler, I would actually do the social Darwinism thing the right way. What an asshole. What a
with
weirdo.
20 times their population at the exact same time. At the same time, a lot of Darwinism is just a rationalization for killing people. This ends up in weird places
really?
where lots of Darwinists will say, we need to kill those ethnic minorities or invade this country for our people to survive. The problem is that's not actually true, and being aggressive all the time is a terrible strategy. A nimble strategic thinker realizes that there are times for flattery, selling out, cowardice, cooperation alongside courage, aggression, or dominance.
What?
If you look at successful empires over history, they always find carrots and sticks.
So let's see what about his perspective. He believes social Darwinism is real, I think. I mean, at least his friend believes. So he thinks that... okay, yeah, it's literally the if I was Adolf Hitler thing again.
To induce cooperation with the conquered. Great empires do as much of their governing through indirect diplomacy as through violence. Darwinists don't do this. If the Japanese or Germans found ways to cooperate with the conquered, which is not unimaginable since at the start of World War II, most of East
I would diplomatically cooperate with countries so that we would, you know, diplomatically agree to kill certain minorities. Jesus Christ.
Europe preferred the Nazis to Stalin, or the Chinese have cooperated with foreign conquerors for thousands of years. This is also true on an international scale, where everyone else teamed up against fascism since it was so overtly aggressive that people realized they couldn't trust it. If the Darwinists lose this time, it will be for the very...
Okay, so he is applying... So he is, like, indirectly saying that Darwinism is fascism.
Same reason. That being said, we live in what's probably the least wise age of history. People only see the outward trappings of ideas, not what they actually mean.
Says the person who supports the sociological equivalent of the flat earth.
This is how the left, a suicidal nihilistic death cult, was able to take over all of society.
Fight today for a better tomorrow. Yeah, better things are not possible. You just have to call random groups of people, which is much better than leftism and their social sciences. Jesus Christ.
Because we only saw their front of being kind and caring, not the reality of what they were even publicly, literally saying. I've seen the Darwinists do a good job of putting up a new front of not being Nazis. As a figure on the right,
A new front of not being Nazis.
I know a lot of these people, and normies don't believe me when I say that there are legit Nazis on the right, but there are. The irony is
I believe you.
that this is 100% the left's fault for pushing people.
You see, the reason Adolf Hitler was like that is because he was pushed by Antifa to the position of Chancellor, and he enraged. What the fuck is he talking about?
To this. I see a lot of people on the right who have a worldview which is literally 95% similar to Nazism, but since they gave it a new name, people don't notice. I think that we'll see the rise of a new leader in the next few years. I don't think anyone understands how big a sentiment there is here, and it just needs said leader. I frankly don't think any of the figures so far have this capability, and that people like Nick Fuentes or Bronze Age Pervert have designed their brands to be memes, not serious people. That being said, it only takes one Hitler, but once he shows up, everything changes. It's not an uncommon sentiment on the right to believe that we should construct a racial caste system based off race and IQ.
Did he just call one of his friends Hitler? He did.
Even if it's not that big a platform, expect it to grow.
IQ does not exist. I made it up when I was sitting on the toilet.
Exponentially every single year. Before leftists get all self-righteous, keep in mind your people have unironically turned society into a racial caste system.
Does the job exclude white people? Okay. White male supporters versus bias awards, did you just say? Capitalism is bad? The left never thought of this before.
And your moderates haven't called them out. The left has no clue at the demon they made, similarly to how the Nazis formed as a reaction to the insanity of Weimar leftists. The Darwinists will make tough and brave fighters too. The greatest issue the Darwinists face is nihilism. A principle I've developed is that if you believe in God or the soul, you're not a nihilist. And if you don't, you are. This is since—
No, nihilism is when you're in 8th grade and you read a Nietzsche quote once, which I think is your experience too.
The soul disposes a sense of inherent meaning independent from the material. The Darwinists generally LARP as Christians, but they actually are the least Christian of any of these factions, in that—
Really? Christians not listen to Jesus' teachings? Never heard of that before.
literally, if you tell them about Christ's teachings and compare their philosophy to it, they will mock them while they pretend to be Christians as a coat, much like the Nazis. The Darwinists are obsessed with aesthetics, in a reaction to the ugly monotony of our culture. That being
no, the won't be monotonous are the fascists, the Nazis. Like, have you fucking seen how boring, Nazi German culture is? Jesus Christ. Like, the only museums they had that were actually visited were of degenerate culture. This weird obsession with authoritarianism and belief in white supremacy, like Aryan supremacy, only gives you bad artists, because artists are incredibly fucking gay.
said, they use glory as a way to get around a meaningful universe. I prefer that to most other ways people cope with the death of God, but
yeah, you prefer Nazism to the most ways of coping.
It does inevitably result in pushing unhuman cruelties and authoritarianism.
Really? An inhuman ideology based on pseudoscience is based on pseudoscience as an inhumane? Holy fuck! Never thought of that.
That being said, if you push them on if they believe any values, you won't really get an answer. Everything in their worldview is a rationalization for pushing their self in.
If you go hard enough non-Christian right, you just end up indistinguishable from homosexuality. Obsessed with working out, handsome men, ignoring women, aesthetics, looking good, art, fitness, being super masculine. It would not surprise me if a very disproportionate amount of hard rights leadership are abreast homosexuals. Holy fuck. He's slowly getting it.
Which is something a lot of they themselves would agree with. The thing that Darwinists really need is a soul and God. Without that, they spiral.
This fucking wolf footage.
And with it, they can hold themselves to moral standards. If you don't believe in the soul or divine, killing other people to bring about utopia is the rationally correct endpoint to reach. Ironic.
Wow, really shows how much you believe in Jesus Christ's teachings, huh? Also, even without Jesus, it's like, not? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So what he's saying is that Nazis should have been more diplomatic and believed in God more, and then they would have succeeded. Then that apparently would have been a good thing, because leftists paint their hair pink, and that's bad. I like how he's trying to be clever by saying that he kinda disagrees with this ideology, but he really doesn't.
The Darwinists with religion is literally what the entirety of pre-modern history looks like.
Are you hallucinating?
Hey everybody, for a brief pause.
No.
Phones. At the same time, this change has bred remarkable resentment among the general populace. People hate the new digital world. It's incredibly lonely.
Okay, so hold on. The thumbnail has like 4 religions: machine worship, Christianity, Marxism, Darwinism. So Darwinism is literally just fascism, but for some reason WhatifAltHist gave it a new name. I wonder why. Okay, Marxism, Christianity, machine worship. Where is anarchism? Anarchism exists, and it's like outside of Marxism. You know. Okay, I think now he's going to discuss fucking machine worship.
Sterile and depressing. The screens are basically as addictive as heroin. Digitization has automated the middle class.
Sorry, I'm not reading your My Little Pony fanfiction. It's like, it's just going to be, I feel like it's going to be Sci-Fi world building for like 10 minutes. You can see it from the footage. I wanna see the Marxism representation of this video. Let's go! Marxist 25%.
We're probably slated and uncreative and sterile. If we lose tech, we're probably slated for another dark age. Number 3, Marxists at a quarter of the population.
Let's go.
This story is so unbelievably bizarre that I think our descendants will struggle to believe that it was ever real. Communism was the ideology which killed the most people in human history.
No, it was fascism cosplaying as communism, as much as you are cosplaying as Christian every single video.
Vast margin. It was tried in every single continent, climate, and civilization. It killed more people than every other religion and ideology in history combined. Then after that, they changed their name and were able to quietly take over the institutions of the entirety of Western civilization. The West didn't even really put up a fight.
Wait, what the fuck was that diagram for a second?
Of the entirety of Western civilization.
Karl Marx, Frankfurt School, Antonio Gramsci, Fabio, Communist Party in USA, Soviet Union, USSR, KGB, okay. Democratic Party. Wait, why did he display like a frame of a conspiratorial thingy in this video? Why? This doesn't even make sense. Also, I cannot fucking read it because it's like, you know, the video is HD, but the image is fucking blurry because if downloaded from a Google, like, you know, the picture didn't even load yet, but you like downloaded it when it was blurry.
The West didn't even really put up a fight.
No, it's not. I'm sorry, but if you think social scientists are like bad, then you're essentially like a flat earther.
Opted by Marxists. This is the case for Hollywood, TV, the media, the government bureaucracy, corporations, the upper brass of the military, the police, schools, academia, philosophy, religion, and literally anything else. They have turned the entire hiring process into racial discrimination against the
this fucking narrative again.
populace all stem from Marxism. Communists will see that me saying this, but the US has a hybrid socialist economy, since the US government makes half of the US's as a country's total economy.
What? What did you say again?
The US government makes half of the US's as a country's total economy.
What? Government makes half of the US as a country's total economy.
The Marxists did this largely through
Yeah, exactly how Marxism works, it's true.
verbal games. The communists maintain the exact same worldview as they had before, in which the oppressed need to launch a revolution to bring about utopia. That being said, they changed
Marxism is not utopianist, but like, you know, he doesn't read, so we know how this video got into existence.
out the working classes for women, sexual, and ethnic minorities.
No, Marxism was always about social issues, shockingly.
This was since the white working class was wealthy enough that they actually became satisfied with their material conditions. Meanwhile, the groups above keep on asking for more no matter what they get. Our society is foolish enough that we didn't even notice. The Marxists kept changing definitions so that people never realized what was happening. We were
Me when I don't read. What is he talking about? Is he saying that Democratic Party... Okay, yeah, he does actually believe that the Democratic Party is communist.
Indoctrinated through leftist-dominated media and schools not to notice. The Marxists socialized the populace to be NPCs who wouldn't see what was occurring right before their own eyes. The left is completely evil. I used to feel bad saying that, but after watching the actions of the last few years, I've seen
The actions of the last few years and just a pride flag with brown, black people and trans people, just... Yeah, I'm sorry, black people and brown people is completely evil to you.
the left completely trash every single moral standard they could have held themselves to. They've
Yeah, my evil standards voting for Biden.
become the party of the rich, the powerful, they shut down dissent, they're trying to commit social suicide. I have a game of trying to find a single moral
This psyop has been made by 4chan users, by the way. No leftist actually believes in it.
Male mice became effeminate, female mice aggressive, the mice stopped having children,
Is this Jordan Peterson beat?
became autistic, mouse society completely collapsed as bands of in the 60s, which I made a video about, where they gave the mice perfect conditions to breed, and then after their numbers going up massively, the mouse social structure completely fell apart. Male mice became effeminate, female mice aggressive, the mice stopped having children, became autistic, mouse society completely collapsed as bands of thugs destroyed the mice who continued to breed. Even if you don't
Yeah, mice were so fat they became fanboys and developed a uniquely human condition. This is so scientific, Jesus Christ.
believe in that experiment. Historically, periods of wealth or decadence allow societies to stop behaving in productive ways and instead be degenerate. What's happened here is the left won since they were able to create an easy rationalization for complete degeneracy and social collapse to be morally okay.
He says that even though 10 minutes ago he said that believing in Nazism is a good coping method. Wait, is he saying he got fucking respect for Stalin and Mao? WhatifAltHist Nazbol arc? He's literally doing the red fascist thing by saying that the woke left doesn't have any standards the fucking Mao had. Jesus Christ.
Imagine what kind of ideology those mice would make up to justify mouse utopia. Wouldn't
The fascism.
it end up looking a lot like wokeness? Wokeness is making a turn now from kinda positive
Like, generally, what does wokeness even mean? It's like a sign to liberalism, and then to communism, and then to liberalism. It's like, what? What is it? Just like, being kind? Is being kind woke? Is wokeness with us right now?
ideology about empowering oppressed groups to legit
Abolish the white race. I hope he doesn't take the title literally.
cult bent on social suicide. You can see this in that the left is pushing more and more so
How hesitant to have children due to climate change. Yeah. You know who caused climate change? You will never believe me.
Countries, the end of heterosexuality, or other things which are exactly what
The end of heterosexuality. You just like posted a random fucking article. Let me read the fucking abstract. Chapter at last, mythology famous book. Serial long, The current theory is in order to examine heterosexuality, reproduction, abortion, rights, field of greater detail. Driving law and cultural scholarships, the chapter provides mythology and description to sort cultural changes. So you like having a monkey brain. He's not discussing the article that is shown, he is discussing the title that was made to be, you know, catchy. I think it's what he did also previously. I'm confident this article doesn't actually talk about killing heterosexuals. I think it's talking about someone else.
group would.
This is how they fucking get you. The West... This is just random fucking Google shit! What are you even fucking showing to me?
Do to rationalize. The left has become completely possessed by what is effectively the worship of Mother Nature, as you can see with their obsession with the planet.
No, what? This is just like a... Like, this guy says he's Gen Z, yet he fucking has a perspective of a 50-year-old boomer who doesn't read. Because he doesn't read. I guess that's why he keeps showing his own photos in the videos. The end of heterosexuality. Oxford Academic, let's go. From normal to heterosexual, the historical... Sociological construction of heterosexuality is developed and through it, Abstract, okay. I think I know what it's talking about. It's talking about the fact that heterosexuality stopped being something normal. It just started being just like a definition. Show greater detail. Driving on the law and cultural scholarship is the chapter proposed a methodology to do a strict description to explore legal and cultural changes in marriage. Particularly so far sexual institution has changed in recent decades. Okay, so this is just like, you know, an article on how, you know, how sociologically heterosexuality is defined and was defined historically. This is like essentially, you know, what WhatifAltHist does, but, you know, actual science and not fanfiction. You know, with this, WhatifAltHist shows his visceral fear of reading. He couldn't even read the fucking abstract. It takes one Google search, yet I'm confident there are like genuinely people who believe him that this article is about wanting to hunt down heterosexuals and to eat them at a stake. Right-wingers and, well, Nazis are incredible fucking drama queens. Really sad. And then they project it, you know, onto lefties, because they believe it's like some zero-sum game where their opponents are doing the same as they do, but they must act like they don't do it, and the opponents do it, and it's such fucking bullshit, done for nothing. They go, look, this is the end of heterosexuality, that means they're going to kill heterosexuals, don't show me the fucking abstract, I want to believe they want to add heterosexuality, Right-wingers are weird. It's just so sad watching this. I don't think I'll be releasing a new fucking WhatifAltHist video soon, I'm sorry. Because when you watch him once, you watch all of his videos. It's the same thesis that left wing wants to kill us all, and they're like the elite Jewish intelligentsia. And look, the proof of that is this article's title. So yeah, I think I'm prepared to close this chapter of my life. Let's actually read some good fucking My Little Pony fanfiction. Hold on. Theme fiction, let's go. Finally. Most ponies know that the earthly force is dangerous and should be approached with care. Lucky for you, there is no such thing as a bad apple. Twilight said, I gotta make this, so I'm gonna do it quick. You wanna survive the earthly forest? Your options might be limited. Too much or too little tea is better than no tea. That is true in any scenario. Real men dissect fascist rhetorics and then read My Little Pony fanfiction. A big thanks to my patrons and to my Torrent subscribers. You deserve the credit. I have an unfinished WhatifAltHist video in my edits folder. Maybe I'll release it as Patreon content. The reason I'm doing that is because it really wasn't as good as this one, and I have decided that that'll be my last WhatifAltHist video. That is, unless something unusual happens. For now, it is time for me to go. See you later.